What's up? This is Edwin J. Davila, and I am the drinker. Coming to you from Oso Harlem, a Mexico City-style kitchen around the corner from my home, and it's my home away from home when I'm not home. Folks, as a beverage professional, it's my duty, my job, my obligation, and my downright kink to search every crack, corner, and crevice of the world to find out who's making the killer juice. But I didn't have to go too far to find this one. West Coast, California, Calaveras County to find the Calaveras Cowboy himself, Matthew Rourke, and his project, The Wines of Forlorn Hope. The name Forlorn Hope comes from the Dutch term, Verloren Hoop. Verloren Hoop means lost troops. The troops that volunteered to go in the battle and that were destined to die. But if they lived, the rewards were endless and bountiful. The grape used to make this wine, Avarião. Avarião is a northern Portuguese grape with some very ambiguous origins. But suffice to say, it made its way to California, and Matthew made this wine and that grape his own for sure. I've had the opportunity to meet Matthew Rourke on many an occasion. He's a quality human being, and I definitely believe in his philosophy and the way he does things. And if I align with your philosophy, you can absolutely bet that I'll shout it from the rooftops and chase you down and actually partake of your juice and pimp it as well. So let's get into it. So obviously the process is a lot more involved in this, but I'm going to find the chase and cut right to it. So the grapes are picked. The clusters are brought into the winery. They don't pull the grapes off of the clusters. They put them in the tank. They press themselves a bit, give a little bit of press. They soak with the juice before, during, and after fermentation. The natural yeast of the grapes, it doesn't add any yeast, start and complete the fermentation. After that, the juice is pumped off, put into wooden barrels, larger oak foudre, for about 10 months, during which time it ages and gets all happy. After that, he bottles it unfiltered and unfined. And when you do that, there will be some deposits in the bottle, a little bit of sediment, and that's okay. Up at the top of the bottle, you may find it throughout the wine as well. You can get a napkin, get in there, clean it out as much as you can, but I just kind of, reach in here and... Yeah. So this has a lot of aromas of leather and sage and cranberries. Notes of coffee. A really smooth, deep flavor to this. And right on the finish, you get a little bit of that tension. And that really comes from the stems. Of course, you've bitten into a seed by accident or a stem or whatever the case may be. It has that kind of bitter tone to it. But when you know what you're doing in making wine, you can actually include the stems in your winemaking. And it'll give this beautiful kind of a bitter note to it that adds really, really interesting and subtle nuances to this. And I do like my wine like I like my relationships, with tension. The name of this wine is Suspiro del Moro, which means the sigh of the Moor. In 1492, the last Moorish king was excommunicated from the region. As he's walking away with his mother across the yet-to-be-named Puerto del Suspiro del Moro, she looks at him, he looks at her, she says to him, "You must now weep like a woman for what you could not defend as a man." And the Moor let out his last sigh, and then they left the region. That obviously resonated with Matthew in a big way, and it definitely resonates with me as well, through him and through these rare creatures that he makes. To Matthew, thank you so much for everything you do, and I look forward to seeing you again. To everyone else, this is Edwin J. Davila, and I am the drinker. Imploring you, reminding you always to drink something new, try something different, and always drink outside of the box.